Good morning, guys. Good morning to all. My voice is clear. Am I audible? Okay. Yeah, yesterday we discussed about how to launch the API scanner. Once you guys are choose the API testing, we need to click on this API scanner, start the API scanner. The API scanner will be launched. The API scanner will be launched. That one we discussed yesterday. And today we will continue on that one. Okay. See guys, then it should be displayed one pop-up. Okay. Here in this pop-up, we have a two types is there request and response. Okay. Yeah. Write down. Write down. Once launch the API scanner. Once launch the API scanner. Once launch the API scanner. We need to create one new project. We need to create one new project. We need to create one new project. Under this project, we need to create the folder. We need to create the folder. Under this project, we need to create the folder. Under the folder, create the under the folder, create the create a message, create a message, bracket, request to type, create a message, bracket, request to type, bracket, request to type. Okay. request type. You guys draw this one. Okay, it is done. It is completed, guys. Yeah. Once we create the project structure, once we create the project structure, once we create the project structure, select the request. Once we create the project structure, select the request, select the request, once we create the project structure, select the request, select the request, select the request, and provide the U and provide the domain and endpoint, and provide the domain and endpoint, domain and endpoint through payload, through payload, select the request, provide domain and endpoint through payload, through payload, through payload, click on the run button. Through payload, click on the run button. Click on the run button. Okay, full stop. Next point. Once we click on the run button, once we click on the run button, once we click on the run button, we are able to get, we are able to get response. 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 Okay. If you want to validate the response body, next line. If we want to validate the response body, if you want to validate the response body, then we are able to create If you want to validate the response body, then we are able to create test case. Then we are able to create test case. Okay. Then we are able to create test case. The next one. The next one. How to do the API testing. How to do the API testing real time by using Tosca. How to do the API testing real time by using Tosca. By using Tosca. Yeah, right on. If we want to do the API testing in real time, if we want to do the API testing in real time, the developer will provide one URL. The developer will provide one URL. Okay, the developer provide one URL. Once we got the URL from the developer, we need to select. Once we got the URL from the developer, we need to select URI option in Tosca. You need to select URI option in Tosca API scan. We need to select URI option in Tosca API scan. You need to select URI in Tosca API scan. Here, next line. Here, we need to provide, here, we need to provide URL. Here, we need to provide URL in bracket. Here, we need to provide URL in bracket. Whatever the developer provide, here we need to provide URL bracket. Whatever the developer provide, here we need to provide URL bracket. Whatever the developer provide, then click on OK button. Then click on OK button. Then click on OK button. Once we click on the OK button, one folder structure, it should be displayed. One folder structure, it should be displayed. One folder structure, it should be displayed. Okay. If you want to validate any backend, we need to use different request in this folder. We need to use different request in this folder. We need to use different requests in this folder. Different request in this folder. Okay, different request in this folder. Next line. Next line. How to create the API test case. How to create the API test case. Okay, yeah, right up. Once we create the folder under the project, once we create the folder under the project, once we create the folder under the project in API scan, once we create the folder, once we create the folder, under the project in API scan. Under the project in API scan. And select the particular folder. 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 And go to API test case. And go to API test case. And go to API test case. Select the export. 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 Full stop. Next line. Once we select the export, then it should be displayed one more pop-up. Once we select the export, then it should be displayed one more pop-up. One more pop-up. Okay, one more pop-up. Next line. In this pop-up, module comma test case is available. In this pop-up, module comma test case is available. Yeah. If we want to write the API test case, if we want to write the API test case in proper way, if we want to write the API test case in proper way, from this pop-up, from this pop-up, we need to drag and drop modules. If you want to write API test case in proper way, from this pop-up, from this pop-up, from this pop-up, from this pop-up, we need to drag and drop a module. We need to drag and drop a module in main module folder. We need to drag and drop a module in main module folder. Okay, full stop. And we need to drag and drop the test case folder. We need to drag and drop the test case folder in main test case tab. In main, and we need to drag and drop the test case folder in main test case tab. In main test case tab. In main test case tab. Test case tab. See guys, you guys are observed. See, I want to drag and drop this one and here to here. Okay. And this is, I drop here. I need to drag and drop module button from this folder in that main module. That main module. Get API. Okay. And what I'm saying here, we need to drag and drop the test case folder from this folder to main test case folder. See, here we need to drag and drop. Okay. 1 minute. Here we need to drag and drop. Finish. Here also we need to provide the get API. Get API. Okay. See guys, once we drag and drop the particular folder to particular, once we drag and drop the modules into particular main folder, main module folder, and here, if you want to validate anything in that method, okay, select that particular response. Okay, what we are able to validate, we are able to validate only response. Okay, if you want to validate anything in API, select the module tab and select the response and click on the add button. Click on the add button. In that response, whatever is available, everything it should be displayed. Okay. And once you guys are click on add button, you guys are select the anything validation, click on add, automatically that will be added. automatically that will be added. Okay, yeah, right now. Once we create the test case, once we create the API test case in test case folder level, once we create the test case in test case folder level, in test case folder level, okay, yeah. Next line. If we want to validate, if we want to validate, if we want to validate any response body, if you want to validate any response body, if you want to validate any response body, go to the module tab, go to the module tab, go to the module tab, select the response, select the response, select the response, and click on add, and click on add, and click on add, and click on add bracket plus symbol. You guys are provide plus symbol. Click on add. Next line. Once we click on the add, once we click on the add, once we click on the add, then it should be displayed. Once we click on the add, then it should be displayed attribute assistant. Then it should be displayed attribute as assistant. Attribute assistant. Then it should be displayed attribute assistant. Okay. Next line. Here, whatever we are able to validate, here, whatever we are able to validate, that whatever we are able to validate, that module attributes we need to select. Whatever we are able to validate, that module attributes we need to select. Whatever we are able to validate, that module attribute, we need to select, click on add button, click on add button, click on add button. Whatever we are able to validate, the module attribute, we need to select the module attribute, we need to select, then click on add, then click on add. Okay, see guys, see, whatever you guys are selected in attribute module, that modules, it should be displayed here. Whatever you selected in that attribute module, that modules, it should be displayed. Okay, it should be displayed. Yeah. Write down next one. If you want to validate the response, if you want to validate the response, we need to go to test case tab. We need to go to test case tab. If you want to validate the attributes, we need to, if you want to validate the response, we need to go to test case tab. We need to go to test case tab. In this particular, we need to go to test case tab. 1 minute. We need to go to test case tab. Here, we need to select the, the module related test case. Here, we need to select the module related test case. Here, we need to select the module related test case. Here, we need to select the module related test case. Yeah, see guys, I need to validate the, you guys are observe how you guys are able to validate. See, you need to get the data from the module. Last name. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Michael Lawson. Yeah. See guys, I provided. Okay. Yeah, write down. Once we provide the validation data in test case, once we provide the validation data in test case, the action mode automatically will reflected. The action mode automatically will reflect it. The action mode automatically will reflect it. Okay. Yeah. See, now I want to execute. You guys are observe. Right click on the expected test case and click on run in Scratchbook. Right click on the expected test case and click on run in Scratchbook. See guys, you guys are observe validation is successful. Validation is successful. See, the expected value, actual value, both are same. The expected value, actual value, both are same. Validation is successful. Okay. Is it clear? Is it clear, everybody? Do you have any doubt? Any doubt? Okay. Okay. All right. See, guys, that is correct or not? How you guys are able to validate? See, email is correct or not? Yes, it is correct. First name is correct or not? Yes, it is correct. And last name is correct or not? Yes, it is correct. Okay. See, note. 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 If you want to verify, if you want to verify existing, if you want to verify backend, if you want to verify backend resource, if you want to verify backend resource, comma, the validation is right or correct or not. The validation is correct or not. If you want to verify backend resource, the validation is right or wrong or correct or not. Right or wrong. We need to select the response folder. We need to select the response folder. Click on buffer option. Sorry. Click on body option. We need to select the response. Click on body and select the verify messages. Select the verify messages. Select the verify messages. Just I want to select this one. See guys, just I want to select this one and click on the validation, validate model attributes. The validation is the success. The status code is 200. And again, I will show you. And I want to select the first name. Click on validate. Yes, there is no issues. I want to select the last name. Click on validate. Okay. And if you want to print the pretty print to type, just you need to select this one. Control A and pretty print. Pretty print. Okay, guys. If you have any queries, or if you have any doubts regarding anything, validate. No issues. Just I want to select this response buffer module with the dynamic list item open attribute assistant. Okay, we are able to select it like this also, guys, not only plus. And here also we are able to select open attribute as directly. We have two options is there, plus option, add module attribute, open attribute assistant. Here also buffer module attribute, open attribute assistant. Both are same, but here when we are doing the module attribute, what is the difference between the add and the buffer? When we are add, if you want to click on anything here, add symbol, okay, that is not, anything is not escape from this for attribute assistant. If you want to do the buffer, you are able to execute at the same time simultaneously we are able to save the data, okay, while executing the code, sorry, while executing the script. If you want to select the buffer while providing the request, the time we are able to, the time we are able to save, and in the time we are able to, we are able to get the information, we are able to get the information, okay. That is the difference between the buffer and the add. Okay, buffer we are unable to store and get, guys, once we click on, and coming to the buffer we are able to save, we are able to store the data, and we able to get the information, able to get the information, okay. That is we call buffer. Is it clear, everybody? Do you have any queries or any questions? And tomorrow only I am able to discuss interview related questions. what type of questions they will ask in interview. Okay, that related questions I will discuss tomorrow. Now, if you have any doubt or any queries, now if you have any doubt or any queries, please ask me. And I request to all guys, you guys are need to practice what I was discussed. If you guys are unable to practice, it is difficult to do the Tosca. People are asking manual with the Tosca or automation Tosca. So you guys are able to practice all the requests and all the scripts what I was discussed. If you have any doubt while executing the code, you guys are getting any issues, please tell me guys. I am able to explain. Methods, TDM and TDS. You're talking about framework, method, okay, test data management. Yeah, that as a 3-level and 2-level experienced people, we are unable to involve in these services. Okay, yeah, that is I'm telling. Okay, and we are able to involve the test data management. Okay, and if you want to that one, I am able to discuss that one, test data management, tomorrow. Okay, if I want to discuss that one, I am able to discuss tomorrow. Okay, test data management. Okay, definitely you guys, services guys, if you need services, okay, we are actually we are an expert in that Tosca, above 4 years experience, mostly we are able to involve. Okay, and you have a basic knowledge and you have a 1 or 2 years experience, then we are not involved. Then we are not involved. Okay, but you need that information. Definitely I will provide. Definitely I will provide. Okay, is it clear? Any doubt, guys? Yeah, tomorrow I am able to discuss first of the TDM, and the next one I will discuss interview based questions. Okay, is it clear? Tomorrow is the last session for guys. Tomorrow is the last session. Okay, and we are able to the I was discuss everything what I was shared in that content. Okay, definitely TDM and TDM I am able to discuss tomorrow first up, and after that I will discuss the interview questions. Okay, and you guys are please need to practice, guys. Okay, you guys are please need to practice. That is very important and useful for you guys. Okay, but one thing, if you guys are unable to practice, it is not an easy task. Okay, it is not an easy task. Please do practice. Okay, and in future if you have any issues or if you need any information, and please text me to my to my email ID. Okay, definitely I will help you guys. Okay, yeah, thank you very much, guys. Have a nice day. I will continue tomorrow. Okay, bye. Is it clear? Okay, guys, thank you very much. Bye.